In my last video, when I said I don't believe in love and love is just an equation, the answer to which is self-preservation, and who can help me preserve myself better, I was accused that since I don't believe in love, then I must believe in hate, and I am filled with hate and blah blah blah. So this is an open letter to those people who think that absence of love is hate. Actually, no, folks. The absence of love is not hate. The absence of love is indifference. But if there is love present, you should automatically conclude that there is hate present. Um, there's an old phrase from an English playwright. I think it goes something by way of something like this. Haven't had no rage like love to hatred turn, uh, nor hell a fury like a woman scorn. Here's the thing: love to hatred turn. If you love this, whatever that is, then whatever is the opposite of it, you must hate. You can't say I love this and I love that too, because they're opposites. You see what I'm saying? You have many opposites in life, many opposites. Let's just say, let's go as simple as a child loving her rabbit. She loves that rabbit. You know, you got a child, you got a small white rabbit that's the pet to the child. So if that child believes that she loves the rabbit, I guess the rabbit somehow helps her psychologically deal with day-to-day matters of life, and therefore she feels that the rabbit is necessary for her survival, for her self-preservation. So she falls in love with the rabbit, that little child. So if a snake comes by and eats the rabbit, kills the rabbit or whatever, then that becomes the object of hate. The snake becomes the object of hate. So there is no love without hate. If you are bent on loving things, people, or things, entities, if you are hell-bent on showing love, think it's a spiritual thing, it's somehow connected to your soul, this matter of love. Well, whatever is opposite of that, whatever is threatening that, whatever is the object of your love, whatever is threatening that would be the object of your hate. As simple as that. So when I say I don't believe in love, love is just an equation of that the answer to which is self-preservation. On the same token, you should recognize that means I believe in hate is an equation, the answer to which is self-destruction. Whatever helps me to destroy myself, I hate. Whatever helps me in the quest of, self-destruction, then it would be the object of my hate. So if somebody tells you they don't believe in love as such, and they believe it's a mathematical equation, you should automatically conclude that they don't feel hate either. It's a mathematical equation. There is no hate. It's just that, okay, and once you realize there is no hate and it's a mathematical equation, your conclusion would be, for example, in case of the rabbit and the snake, you don't hate the snake after it kills the rabbit. You understand it, that hey, this is what it does. So you try avoiding. If you know of the matter, you try to you try to avoid it to begin with, and if you didn't know of the matter, and so that the first rabbit dies because of your lack of knowledge of the hazards of the snake, then the next time you try to avoid it. So you don't hate the fucking snake, you try to avoid it next time, or you try to, have measures in order to prevent other measures, in order to prevent the snake from reaching the rabbit. You don't love the rabbit, you don't hate the snake, you just, try to get closer to the rabbit, whatever, if the rabbit helps you deal with whatever issues you have, and you try to avoid the snake because you feel that it's going to cause it problems for you. It's not hate and it's not love. It's just a matter of realizing their equations, and you need to recognize their equations. One is equation, you love those who help you preserve yourself better. Those who help you preserve yourself better, you tend to love them. And those who are threatening your self-preservation, you imagine that you hate them. But it's just not, these words, love and hate, are just figments of your imagination. Just like God, it's just figment of your imagination. It just doesn't exist in the real world. You make it up. You have come up with words that define your quest for self-preservation and your fear of self-destruction. So you have come up with words such as love and hate. I give you, if you want to dig a little deeper into it. Since I was 7, 8, or 10 years old, I had this dilemma in my mind. Now I see it as a philosophical dilemma, but at that age I didn't realize it's a matter of philosophy. I had this issue in my mind that's when I saw these movies or read these books in which there is a let's say damsel in distress, there is a hostage situation, and some bad guys, hate people you're supposed to hate, are holding a hostage, and then some good guys, the guys who are going to help you in your quest for self-preservation, go in to rescue the hostage. There are some bad people, there's a hostage, and then a group of good people go in to rescue the hostage. And what happens during the process, usually these movies and TV series and these books, what happens usually is there is always a few of the good guys who have to sacrifice themselves. So let's say of the 10 bad guys, one hostage, 10 bad guys, and 10 good guys. What usually ends up happening is 2 of the good guys end up sacrificing themselves for the mission, along with all the 10 bad guys who are eliminated for the mission to be successful. Let's say 8 of them, and 2 are taken in as prisoners. But the point is, 2 of the good guys die, usually 8 of the bad guys die, and the hostage is rescued. And you think to yourself, as a child, the math didn't work for me. we had one life in danger, life, period. One human life was in danger, and what happened was now 10 lives are lost, 8 of supposedly the bad guys and 2 of supposedly the good guys. So we had one life in danger, now 10 lives are lost. And somehow that was the intended outcome. That was the intended outcome. That's a good story. One life was in danger, and now 10 are dead, but that one is saved. What does that mean? Why was it? How come that life was worth 10? Was it because that one was loved by somebody important and these 10 were not loved by somebody important? Was it because that one was the survival of that one, the preservation of that one that was rescued was important to somebody whose preservation isn't preservation of that one, i.e. you have a rich person or an influential person or a powerful person whose self-preservation through reproduction is very important, so that hostage was a wife of this important person or the child of this important person or the father of this important person, whoever it was related to a very important influential person. So 10 people from 8 people from the bad side and 2 people from the good side had to be sacrificed in order for this guy to reach his objective of self-preservation by preserving his reproduction, offspring. And this never, even as a child, it really never never made sense to me. Why would self-preserve? And then it was justified. That's and then and then it was justified as good and righteous, and this is a great movie or great scenario, and you're thinking that, so what happened to the 10 that died? What is this idea that the self-preservation of one, but they keep justifying it that this was a love story, and because of love they went and sacrificed, and that influential persons he loves, because of the love of his children, he was forced to send these people to sacrifice themselves. You see what I'm saying? Why doesn't in this rich person care, love those people who had to sacrifice themselves? You see what I'm saying? This is what I say, it's all about self-preservation. Because if it was all about love of the humankind, then it never makes sense to sacrifice 10 to rescue one. What it would make sense is to sit logically, have a logical discussion with the hostage takers, and find out what the fuck is the problem. Do they lack education? Do they lack food, housing? What is threatening them? What is squeezing them so bad that they have to take a hostage? And as a society, you have to solve that problem equation for them. Obviously, they couldn't solve it for themselves, so they've resorted to hostage taking. That's it. Find out where the society has let them down. Now, this society could be within a country or could be internationally, could be the whole planet wide. Where in the society they have been let down, fix that issue and release your hostage. This is what I'm saying, that you gotta, you know, leave aside the love and hate part. You have to think of it logically and try to approach issues not with love and hate, but with logic. Try to solve the issue so the most number of people would benefit from the solution, not love. And love doesn't work. When you love one, you ultimately have to or forced to hate the opposite of it. And this is where I come to the conclusion that this love thing is hazardous to human society, because it forces you to discriminate. It forces you to it justifies a lot of bad shit. Love justifies a lot of bad shit because love justifies hate, and hate justifies a lot of bad outcomes. You see what I'm saying? You love the person responsible for the hostage because he or she loves the hostage. Because of that love, it justifies his hatred towards the hostage takers, and that justifies the elimination, the liquidation of all of the hostage takers, even if that means half of the good guys also die in the process. But the object of his love has to be rescued. You see, it's the love part that's the problem. But if, on the other hand, if you look at everything not through the perspective of love and hate, if you look at everything through what makes sense, what is logical, what is the best outcome, what do we have to do in order to solve this situation without killing each other, put aside the love aspect, then you realize that that would be a much better environment to live in than what we have right now with this all love nonsense. Love, the hate exists because of the love. This is bullshit, the whole idea of, oh, Jesus this and Jesus that and the love of all mankind and we love everybody. Bullshit. If you loved everybody, you would have, shared whatever you had with all the people on planet Earth. If you love everybody, it would be socialism all around planet Earth. You see, the whole idea of communism, the whole idea of socialism, the whole idea of classless society is the only way you can prove, not just by word, but prove your love for everybody. But as we saw, the human beings don't function well under communism. Under strict socialism, maybe, but under communism, i.e. classless society, human beings are too lazy and too selfish to function well under communism. They don't work because they feel they're not getting ahead that much farther, and their life and health and education is guaranteed by the government, so they stop working, or they work much slower than they should. So that when you see the communism doesn't work, you are assured that human beings don't even like each other. Forget about love. They don't even like each other. If they liked each other, if human beings really were able to love each other, all of them, then you would have a classless society. All equal. Everybody have the same food to eat. Everybody have the same place to live, good accommodation to live in. Everybody, no great castles and no great, no small shacks. But that's not the case. So there is no such thing as love of all mankind. If it was possible, then communism would have worked. The same way, ants live. Ants live under communism. Bees live under communism. Everybody takes as much as they need, and they are constantly producing without actually thinking about it. They are 100% in all the time, working and only consuming what they need. Ants and bees live in a communist society. But humans haven't been able to, are not designed for that system. We can see it. Human beings cannot be colonized, work in a colonized fashion. Equality amongst all and blah blah blah. I mean, human beings are too lazy, too greedy, too selfish, too worried about their own self-preservation to be able to function well like ants and bees do. So there is no love of all mankind. Stop the nonsense. That's the ideal of all these, right-wing religious people and all, like the lady who basically told me that I hate too much. I should start loving more and love this and love that. And I was accused of being, if I don't love, then I must hate. No, I don't love because it's not possible to go through this, approach this matter of human existence through love. Because, again, when you love, you can't love all mankind. When you do love, you only love those who are directly related to you, that are important to your self-preservation. Those are the ones you really love. And anything that threatening them would be the object of your hate. So you who says, I love this and I love that and I love my child and I love my husband and I love my wife, you're the one who needs to be, watched. Because you become very dangerous. You become very dangerous. A person who keeps, professing their love for their family are the dangerous ones. Professing their love for their country, or professing their love for their tribe, or professing their love for their family, those are the dangerous ones. Because anything threatening their specific love, that is their specific mode of how they believe their self-preservation works, they start hating. And that's when trouble starts. When you start hating, then, the killings start. So, again, haven't had no fury like love to hate return. That's it. You stop with this nonsense of I love, and understand that you only say you love because it's your self-preservation is in question. It's a question of your self-preservation. Then you stop hating too. You recognize it's not love, it's self-preservation. Then you may understand that it's a logical matter. It's not an emotional matter. Then you recognize, okay, it's not love, it's self-preservation. Then self-preservation is a logical matter. Certain steps needs to be taken in order to self-preserve. Okay, it's an equation. So equation is solvable without killing. If you give some resources to those who hate you, or you think they hate you, or you hate them, if you give them some resources so they don't have to take a hostage, one of your loved ones as hostage, then they don't have to take. You get to self-preserve and they get to self-preserve. But the problem is, this greed, the matter of greed, and a few people loving themselves so much that they want to keep all the resources to themselves. Therefore, there is no resources left for many others. So those many others become desperate. They revolt. These people with resources are forced to hate. Then you have conflict. Prime example: the situation which is called illegal immigration from South America to North America. Well, all the resources are in North America, and much of these resources have been, accumulated in North America from South America. The labor and the products over there were produced, transferred to North America, and the profits of those productions have stayed in North America. Things were produced in Africa, resources were extracted in Africa, taken to North America and Western Europe, produced, added value was created, and stuff was made and sold, but the profits never left North America and South America and Western Europe. So all the greed has kept all the resources in one location. So the people of another location are looking at all the resources available in the other location. They try to move there to use some of the resources that are available, but the people in the northern hemisphere think that, okay, no, we feel that our self-preservation is in danger. What they mean is, and then the whole idea becomes love of my nation and love of my people against those people who are trying to invade us. The whole thing becomes, a hateful act of, let's, hang all these people who are trying to move in illegally. As if, the people who are living in North America currently are there legally. Their ancestors moved there legally. They got permission from the Redskins. Again, but what's the solution? Stop hating the people in south of the border. The solution is simple. They lack resources. You have a lot of resources in Western Europe and North America, which they didn't all come from you. Most of it came from Southern Hemisphere. So if you don't want them to move to your neighborhood, you can invest some money in the Southern Hemisphere. So those folks also have some resources to live with. They will not come to your neighborhood. They will stop coming to your neighborhood if you don't want them to come. But the point is, again, this whole idea of what is the idea of a nation? It's again self-preservation. The idea of family. I love my family because my family is how I self-preserve. The services I get from my family and the offsprings that are produced by way of having a family. It's all comes down to my self-preservation. It's connected with my self-preservation. So I love my family. Okay. I love my city because as long as my city is functional, so that makes helps me in my self-preservation. If my city is safe and functional, again, I love my city. I love my country. Well, as long as the country is safe and has borders, secure borders, and everything is working well in it, it helps in my self-preservation. So I love my country. You see where I'm going with this? This word love keeps getting repeated every time the matter is connected to your self-preservation. If it's not connected to your self-preservation, even the matter of a cake, a piece of a fucking cake. I love this cake. I love this piece of cake. I love chocolate cake. You hear it all the time. I love chocolate cake, and I love apple pie. And why? Because that piece of chocolate cake, it's, the taste in the mouth, it gives you a pleasant experience, very pleasant experience. So you associated with that is pleasant experience is pleasant experiences is what we associate with self-preservation. It's all about pleasant experiences, self-preservation. And then the calories that you get from the cake, again, it's associated with your self-preservation. You burn that calorie and you live. So you love the cake and you love your wife. Provides you with sex and provides you with, shoulder to cry on, provides you with companionship. So you love your wife. Helps in your self-preservation. Kids, the city, the country. But the thing is, then when you go a step further, humanity doesn't really help you with your self-preservation unless you're fighting the Martians. That's exactly when they say the world will come together. There's an old saying that they said the world will come together only if somebody from not planet Earth attacks Earth. Then all the nations will come together and all humanity will come together. And they're right about that. Because then, only then, your self-preservation would be connected to the rest of humanity's preservation. Therefore, at that point, you will love humanity. Because at that point, you love humanity because your self-preservation is connected to humanity, because all the humanity is on one side and the Martians are on the other side. Again, back to my point, I am right. So love is nothing but self-preservation. At any given point, every time you are thinking about self-preservation and matters that are important to your self-preservation, you bring up love. End of story. And every time you bring up love, then the opposite of it in your mind becomes an object of your hate. And the result of that is you always, as human being, lazy. We never look for, real solutions. We, just hate comes to mind, and the whole world becomes red, covers our eyes, and we are looking for the fastest solution possible, and the fastest solution possible is to kill the snake. Ate the rabbit, kill the snake. Revenge, fastest solution. Oh, they're coming from south of the border because they want to feed themselves. Erect a wall. Fastest solution possible. Always defensive, always offensive, always with violence. Love, hate, and then violence. Love, I love this, therefore I hate the opposite of it, whatever threatens what I love, and then violence. But what it actually should be is, I understand I have a need for self-preservation. I understand certain things are, threatening my self-preservation. What should I do logically over a long period of time to prevent any threats? I'm not going to hate them, whoever them is. I'm going to find out how I can help them in order not to feel threatened by them. How I can help them in order not to feel threatened by them. But you know, hate is much simpler because love is much simpler because we are, you know, cannibalist apes, and self-preservation is very important to us.